Hi, I'm Dave Meckie, and you're watching What's Your Story, where you'll meet interesting people doing interesting things in interesting places you'll never see anywhere else. And here's today's story. Today's story is about the 8 Wisdoms, a book written by Glen James. And Bobby's here to explain it all himself. So you wrote this book, 8 Wisdoms.
8 Wisdoms.
And today we're going to talk about 2 key concepts, and I'll choose the words and you can expound on them.
Very good.
Do. Is that
The
one of them?
secret to success. Absolutely.
Okay, do. And the next one is accountability.
Accountability.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit today.
In business, we're always saying that if only I had this or that or the other. But truthfully, when it comes down to it, you have to hold yourself accountable for your successes and failures.
Yeah.
And some people will tell you, well, Bobby, there are some times when it's not my fault. There are some times then the outside world is what caused the problem. And I will say, as long as you keep that mentality, you're going to have a hard time being super successful.
That reminds me of Wayne Dyer's book, No More Excuses.
Absolutely. He was a great man that had some great philosophies that we would all do well to pay attention to. Yeah, he's good. But I see it constantly. I do a lot of entrepreneur groups, and I see so many folks that come up to me and say, if only I had this, or if only I had that, then I could start to be successful. If I had the right marketing person, then it would be okay. Yeah. And I tell them, well, then go do that.
Yeah.
Do some action to get that right marketing person.
Do you think some of it is related to fear of failure, and so that those excuses are popping up as a protection?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we talk about fear of failure, and I think fear of success even. Sometimes folks have an excuse to why they stay where they're at.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm at. And sometimes it takes you to take the accountability so you can move up a step.
Yeah.
Even if it's not right or the best thing to do in the long run, just a movement saying I'm accountable and I'm going to make maybe the wrong decision.
Yeah.
This little step, this little jump can change everything in a business mindset. Yeah. I've seen it. I've not only seen it, it's happened in my life many, many times. Like I say, I've done everything from retail, wholesale, I've had a manufacturing company, I have been in just about every kind of business genre there is, service companies, and I have made some failures, and I have not grown because I was comfortable, because I felt like I'm just okay where I'm at.
Right.
And I had plenty of excuses as to why I didn't want to grow or shouldn't grow. If I grow too fast, that's just as bad as not growing at all.
Yeah. So, what makes you different today?
Well, I believe what makes me truly different today is living the 8 Wisdoms, and it's the reason I wrote the book. Okay. I was, I had been doing business for a long time, and I've been really looking at personal development people like Wayne Dyer and all these great, powerful people, Jim Rohn and some other amazing folks that have these personal development stuff. And then I've been to class after class. I believe in spending money on upgrading yourself and learning more.
Right.
And
but then you got to do.
And then you got to do. Exactly. You go to these classes, and what I found, all of them had the secret, right? All of them had the special sauce that was going to get you there.
Yes.
And I just realized, everybody's different. Everybody's different. And I sifted through all of these great concepts, and I came up with 8. 8 concepts that are not rocket science. When you learn the 8 Wisdoms, you'll go, well, this stuff is, I already know this. They're concepts that we should be working on for the rest of our lives to grow and move forward. And since I've been living my life in that vein of living the 8 Wisdoms, like number 1, the first wisdom is the physical, meaning keep yourself physically active, eat well, and you learn in the book kind of why that's so important. And in my life, it changed my life. I used to be quite a bit overweight, extremely sick, anxiety, hardcore anxiety attacks, and fear disorder, all that good stuff. I don't take any drugs for any of that. I do it all through diet and exercise, and it's changed my life. That's the first wisdom.
Yeah.
That's number one.
If I recall correctly, when we spoke about this briefly the other day, it's written in more of a story style, kind of like Acres of Diamonds.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I love to learn through stories. I mean, when somebody tells me, hey, you do this, A, B, C, D, and then you learn, I love listening to a story with a message, and I really can soak that in and I get it. So that's the way I wrote the book.
Yeah.
The book is about a boy named Shinhan, and he loses his family, and he wants to know why life is so horrible.
Shinhan.
Where
does that come from?
In my head, the story is very mixed with a lot of Asian culture and different cultures. That it's a fantasy world. It's not. And I call it a fantasy world. There's no magic or anything like that in it, but it's my own little world. So I made up I got all kinds of funky names in there. Yudoki is a name.
Pick up the book and meet Shinhan.
Yes, learn from Shinhan and the master.
So is he the center figure?
He is the center figure, and he wants to know why life is so horrible, why life is full of so much bad stuff, and is it really, truly worth living?
Yeah.
And through learning and going on these quests for the 8 wisdoms, he learns that life is worth living, that life is amazing, that life is what you make it as you're accountable for your life.
Besides learning and appreciation, where does the do come in?
So it's all about action. When you read the book, everything, all of the master, when the master gives him a wisdom to go find, all he says is, I want you to go here, and I want you to do some simple thing. And sometimes that takes Shinhan as much as 2 to 3 years to go through one of these options. And he is continually doing or moving forward. You can see that it is all about action, and that's where it all connects in the end to talk about accountability. Because truly, we just don't get anything done.
The name Shinhan runs off your lips like it's one of your baby boys.
Shinhan is definitely, truthfully, he is me. I mean, as writing it was my baby, I felt every second.
So you are Shinhan.
I absolutely, and so many of the things that happen in there, of course, they're grandiose and big, but a lot of them are experiences that I actually had. I mean, they are in this great world, this big, interesting world, but they are very close to my heart. And some of the spiritual things that happen in the book are absolutely things that changed my life completely. And so they're very powerful. And I do believe I am who I am today and as successful as I am today because of living the 8 wisdoms. And it's something you do for the rest of your life. It's not you don't learn these concepts and you're done. This is some of the gurus will tell you, well, if you do the right things, you can change things just like that. You know, you can change in an instant. And I believe it's your mind doesn't change in an instant, but once you get your reptile brain to connect, then you can change in an instant. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once you get that to follow along with you, then you'll make a change. And that sometimes can take years and years to get your subconscious mind to connect with your conscious mind.
Do you want your subconscious mind to connect with your conscious mind? Where do they get the book?
Well, again, you can get the book at Amazon.com. You did at the very beginning, but hey, we can do another pitch. Amazon.com, and you can also go to 8wisdoms.com and learn a little bit more about the wisdoms. We do some videos and stuff like that.
Good.
It's my mission to get the 8 wisdoms out there.
Okay. Aside from that, I see you active in your community in what you've called, or what was originally called, Entrepreneurial Launchpad.
I am a site leader for Entrepreneur Launchpad. It's a nonprofit organization.
So you wrote the book and now you're doing something.
Absolutely, to give back.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Because I've done so many businesses and have been involved with entrepreneurship and creating businesses and been investors and I've been through a lot of those things and made a lot of mistakes. I love to give back to hopefully assist others in maybe making a few less
So
mistakes.
how does that work? What happens at Entrepreneurial Launchpad?
So we have in the Utah area, there are 6 ELPs, we call them ELP, throughout
So
the...
6 like different chapters
Yeah,
or
different
something?
chapters,
Okay.
absolutely, yes. And you can go to elpnow.org.
Okay.
Because it is a nonprofit, and learn all you want to learn about Entrepreneur Launchpad, wherever you are in the Utah
Can you learn
Valley.
more than about the Launchpad? I mean, is there anything there people can go to? Is there substance there?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we have articles of different folks, some people that have had successes. We have articles of what's going on in the world, entrepreneurship, things that are happening.
So there's some things of value on the site
on the ELP
to someone
now.
in Alaska.
Absolutely,
Oh, okay.
absolutely. There's inside of everything that's going on. We have different bloggers that blog for the ELP now. So,
Oh, you do? Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. How often is the blog?
That's a great question. That's a great question. How often is the blog?
How often is the blog?
I have
Irregularly.
I've done an interview for it, and I have one of the blogs is about me and kind of my whole story and my background, because I'm fairly colorful. My background is, and so maybe the story's interesting. I don't know. But
So you don't do the blog?
I don't do the blog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone who is like an overseer of all the chapters does
Yes,
the
so there's a main board for the Entrepreneur Launchpad that
blog.
that
I'm
meets and sets
guessing
them.
that board changes around over time since the
Oh,
volunteers.
yes, yes. We have new chairman, and
So how long has ELP been out?
so there were 3 guys that were out of a job. I think it was 8-9 years ago, something like that. It's been a while. It's been around a while.
So they were out of a job.
They were out of a job, didn't know what to do, so they kind of sat down and got together and started talking about how to create a business because they were out of a job. They got laid off, and so other friends that wanted to start a business started kind of getting together. And long story short, all of a sudden, Entrepreneur Launchpad was created, and these guys
Got it.
have now moved on to all kinds of different things, and Entrepreneur Launchpad has grown quite a bit.
So how long have you been involved with ELP?
3 years. So
years.
I've been with Entrepreneur Launchpad 3 years. I've been an assistant site leader and now a site leader for a year. It's just a great opportunity for me to give back. I love the people. We got these crazy entrepreneur-minded folks, that are tired of their family telling them they're crazy, and that's a crazy idea. They get to come to see us, and we all have crazy ideas, and we're all excited.
I've been to it like a handful of times, and as recently as maybe 10 days ago. There's an amazing array of
huge, yes,
unbelievable diversity.
Absolutely,
in business.
That's the beauty of it. We got folks that aren't sure. They think they want to start a business, but they don't have a clue. And then we have others that are getting ready to be funded, or they got VCs coming after. We've got this huge gamut of folks, and we our ratio, at least at Salt Lake Valley ELP, we have about half female to male, which is unheard of in the entrepreneur world. We have a lot of ladies that are doing some amazing things in the entrepreneur world, creating businesses. It's a fun experience. I absolutely love being a part of Entrepreneur Launchpad, ELP. elpnow.org.
So Bobby James is not a race car driver then?
Bobby James is not a race car driver. That's one of my taglines because I sound like one. And I am from Texas.
Do
but
people mistake you for a race car driver?
when they hear my name, a lot of people tell me that. Bobby James, that sounds like a race car driver. Ricky Bobby, I guess, from the show or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I am not a race car driver. I would love to be one someday, maybe.
Not even when you're late for work?
Oh, well, some people say, I do have turbo on my car, so I don't know. Yeah.
Great.
Well, awesome.
So, Bobby Glen James, author of 8 Wisdoms, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think we learned something here today.
Thank you.